Today, we're going to crack open one of Wordle's trickiest puzzles. We're going to break down the clues, the strategy, and the very bones of a word that left a whole lot of players completely stumped.
Oh, you know the feeling, right? You're on guess 5, maybe even guess 6. You're just staring at this wall of gray and yellow squares, and you're absolutely convinced the answer has to be some word that doesn't even exist. It's a frustration we've all shared, but today we're going to turn that frustration into a masterclass. So, the puzzle we're putting under the microscope is number 1562. This one was a real piece of work, and it featured this combination of elements that made it a serious challenge. So let's treat this like a real investigation and see if we can crack this case together.
Every good investigation, well, it starts with a solid lead. And in Wordle, that lead is your starter word. So what's the best way to go? Do you trust your gut, or do you follow the cold, hard data? Well, here's the official word from the New York Times' own Wordle editor, Tracy Bennett. Her philosophy? It's all about being flexible, using your intuition. She's basically saying, go with what feels right, because any 5-letter word can get you on the path to that solution.
But then you've got the other side of the coin, the data-driven approach. The New York Times Wordlebot, after crunching the numbers on, get this, over 500 million games, recommends the word trace. It is just packed with common letters, all designed to give you the most information you can possibly get from that very first guess. So 2 totally different philosophies for the same starting line.
Okay, so with our strategy in mind, let's start looking at the actual clues for puzzle #1562. This is where the real detective work begins. We're going to use these hints to build our case, one piece at a time. And here it is, our first major break in the case. The word starts with a G. Right away, this just eliminates a massive number of possibilities and gives us a solid anchor to build the rest of the word around. That's huge.
So, with that first letter locked in, what's the next logical step? It's got to be the vowels, right? I mean, how many are there and which ones? Vowels are like the skeleton of almost every word, so this is an absolutely critical piece of the puzzle. Now, this is where things get really interesting. The word has 3 different vowels. Now think about that. In a 5-letter word, that is a really high ratio of vowels to consonants, and it's a massive structural clue. But it's not quite as simple as it looks. Okay, this complex vowel situation is a gigantic piece of the puzzle. So we know there's an O and an E, but there's also a repeated vowel and what they call a sometimes vowel, which, let's be honest, in the world of Wordle, almost always means it's a Y. That gives us 4 vowel slots we need to account for. This is a fantastic set of clues.
So, let's step back and summarize what our investigation has turned up so far. We are looking for an adjective. It starts with G, it's got the vowels O and E in it, and there's a repeated letter somewhere. The net is definitely getting tighter.
Okay, so moving beyond just the structure of the word, we get a clue about what it actually means. It's often used for sweet treats or things that have melted. Think about a chocolate chip cookie fresh out of the oven, or maybe some melted cheese. This clue really starts to paint a picture.
And here we have it, the official dictionary definitions, soft and sticky, or sticky and viscous. This feels like the final piece of evidence. We've got the structure, we have the context, and now we have the precise meaning.
All right, all the evidence is now on the table. Have you managed to piece it all together? The answer should be right there, just within reach. So just take a second. It's an adjective, starts with G, it has a repeated vowel, O, E, and that sometimes vowel. And we use it to describe melted chocolate or cheese. Do you have it?
And there it is, G-O-O-E-Y, GOOEY. It fits every single one of those clues absolutely perfectly. The G start, the O and E, that repeated O, and the Y acting as our sometimes vowel.
So look, solving it is one thing. But the crucial point here isn't just knowing the answer. It's understanding why this word was so challenging for so many people. Because learning from it is how you really get better at the game.
So let's break down exactly what made GOOEY such a tough nut to crack. First off, that repeated O. A lot of our strategies are built to avoid guessing double letters, at least not early on. Second, you have that O-O-E vowel cluster. That is a really unusual pattern. Then you've got the Y acting as a vowel at the very end, which can totally throw people off. And finally, G and Y are just less common letters than the ones you find in a go-to starter word like trace. It was a perfect storm of Wordle difficulty.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on.
Now that we've really dissected a word like GOOEY, thinking about repeated letters, weird vowel clusters, and uncommon letters, how is that going to change your approach to the next puzzle you play? Thanks for joining me for this one.